Alrighty, NCTM Los Angeles 2022. There are things that we just did not get a chance to talk about, right? So put together a little bonus content footage here for you. All these activities are available on my website, but I just wanted to kind of just give you a brief overview of what those look like and how I use them. So let's just jump right into it. First one is using a more recent research actually with logs to work with converting dog years to human years. So this is always something that's close to my students' heart. They're pet owners, most of them. And so we talk a little bit about how, the old adage is you take dog years and you multiply by 7 and, you get their approximate human years. Well, recent research has come out that suggests that's really not the best way to do things. And I've actually linked that article in here as well from Science magazine. And I do a nice little closure activity when we're talking about logarithms. And so this is something to get students thinking about, which one of these graphs would have been the old way of doing it? Which way do you think is the new way? And then we read the article, right? They read the article, and then in the article, they present a new equation for calculating dog years. And so the cool thing is we get to wrap up that lesson by doing that calculation. Second thing is kind of went into the toy bin in my home, and we had some toy trains. And so what we do is I actually bring the trains in on a track, and we collect some data about the speed at which the train goes around when it passes certain key markers. And then we use this kind of revolution data to work with periodicity, right? So we talk about periodic functions, and you can see here in this activity, we talk a little bit about graphs of trig functions. And so they have to take the data, figure out things like the amplitude, the period, and things like that, and then actually portray that on a graph. And it really brings those concepts to life, which is super cool. Last one I'll give you just kind of a neat little hook, a little warm-up I use with my Algebra 1 students is if we are talking about absolute value inequalities, which for the most part, they don't really find too exciting, but very applicable. And so we actually start the class with a candy guessing contest. And so each student gets a pack of M&Ms or Skittles or something like that. But I also have a jar, and they have to guess how many pieces of candy are in the jar. And what I tell them is if they come within 5 pieces, either high or low, they win a special prize. And sometimes it doesn't happen. Sometimes they do, and sometimes they don't. So the cool thing is, right, they're actually now talking about absolute value inequalities, or equations, I apologize. So where do we go from there? Well, then we go one step further and we say, well, what if we were to raise the stakes a little bit? What if we were to give away a car? If you were to guess how many, let's say, keys were in a jar, right? And then I just give them a quick little multiple choice question. And this is before they've learned about it, right? And it's just kind of like giving them that experience before we get into anything formal. So just some neat little activities that we did not have a chance to talk about in my session at NCTM. So if you ever have a question about it, if you ever wanted to modify it and you wanted to run something by me, please don't hesitate to reach out. I would love to chat with you about it. Let's connect. Hopefully you find some of these useful. Thanks for watching.